Hello there, my name's Chris and you're watching Inkling. Today I'm building the man, the myth, the legend. Not so much a man, more of a moth. The Mothman of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. So, stay tuned. I'm going to start off my build with a little couple to set the scene. Get this tiny little nubbin of clay. And start smushing a face into it. This is a little dentistry tool, and I'm going to use that to make some depressions to form the eyes and nose of my little person. And tidy up that jawline. I'll get a really thin piece of clay that I've squished between my fingers and cut it to length. And then I'm going to use this rusty knife to just carve some hair texture into it. I'm going to add some arms and legs off camera, and I think he's looking pretty good. Add him a girlfriend, and they're done. Check them against their reference pictures. Yeah, I'd say bang on. I'm going to go online quickly, do a little Google search and see if there's any inspiration I can take to make my Mothman. I think we'll take it from here. But when you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have to start somewhere. So I'm going to roll out a piece of clay and use it to cover my tinfoil frame. I've added a little ball for a head and a neck flap, and I'm going to use this little spatula thing just to slice a mouth shape into it. I'm going to flip that dentistry tool around and use the spiky side to make a little bit of furry texture. Moths are pretty hairy after all. Eye indentations. They'll come in handy later. So we'll move on to the teeth. Here's some I baked earlier. Just tweezer them in nice and gentle like. Very good. Right, I'm going to put him on this incredibly high-tech piece of equipment here to keep my hands free, which is a bit of wood with a screw, and we'll start building his back up. I've kind of done his front already, so yeah, we'll build some shape and size into this, give him some shoulders, back of his arms, that's nice, smooth it down, real good. I've snapped his back, and I'm turning it into an abdomen. And we're going to go for more of a insecty, buggy look. Do you know what I mean? Give him a nice juicy bum as well. And then with a couple of legs on, I'll start carving into it. Now, you can see now I've already baked him a couple of times, which also means that I've got to start using knives to kind of, you know, carve out a bit of shape on him, because, well, he's rock hard, isn't he? We'll start adding some arms now. Nice long creepy ones. You know, ever seen Little Nightmares? You know that bloke who's got arms that just go on forever? Well, I mean, this isn't quite as extreme as that, but I quite like the idea of him having long arms. Give him a couple of wings as well, and yeah, he's looking pretty good. I thought I could just file his eyes out nice and easy and pop some LEDs in, so Mothman can have his glowing eyes. But it turns out Sculpting is hard as shit. Next up, I tried an electric screwdriver, and eventually I got a hammer drill and just went to town on his face. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and comment to let me know, and subscribe so you don't miss out on more videos in future. Crisis averted, we can move on to the painting. I've popped these two little guys on a cork. That's meant that I don't have to hold them with my fingers, and I'm not going to paint myself when I'm trying to paint them, because I mean, these guys are tiny. One of them's getting a paint job in green and brown, and the other one's getting a paint job in blue and yellow. Then I'm going to make a really thin brown wash and cover them in that, which should pick out some details. do apologise, but I completely forgot to press record and missed out almost the entire painting process. I painted him a first time and decided I didn't really like it. Then I painted him a second time and realised that I'd left all the wiring on his face out and hadn't covered it up with clay, so I needed to resculpt him, bake him with my fingers crossed that the LEDs in his face didn't melt, and then I had to paint the whole thing a third time. And we can move on to building our base. So I'll cut some XPS foam to size and move on with building up some height and texture to the base. I'm going to do that by just adding some little offcuts that I've got lying around. Glue them down with PVA, it's good stuff, it's cheap. We'll start cutting and gouging. All we need to do is basically make some rocky texture. We'll make some terrain paste by mixing together plaster, glue, water, and paint. Give it a good stir, and then we can just slap that down on the base all over, smooth it out a bit, and then we'll just put a few stones down, a few little pebbles and bits of grit, and we're going to have to leave that to dry for a couple of days at least. Once that's done, we can undercoat it with a nice white primer. We'll make some nice washes with an ochre and a brown. With these, we're going to add a quick wash over the base. Once we do our next layer of painting, these should show through and add a bit of, that look of like minerals and different imperfections in the rock. It'll make it look good, I think. Fingers crossed. Anyway, grey tone after that. I brought a couple of different types of grassy flocking materials. I don't know, do you call them flock? Or is that something else? I don't know. Anyway, I basically just put some of this green sawdust stuff down. I think it's Jarvis. Yeah, something, I don't know. Anyway, I added this stuff and it didn't look that great, so I had a bit of a play around with adding some like different paint on top of it and things, and this is looking pretty good, so we're gonna go with that. Add a bit more paint, a few more dark washes. Really pick out that detail there. And yeah, we'll pop a little bit of PVA on these sticky grass tufts because they're not really that sticky. As I put them down, I'm just drilling a little hole with the hard end of a paintbrush. Pop my lights through. Yeah, we're looking good. Check they're working, and then all that's left is to place our characters and get ready for the glamour shots.